Hello, my brilliant Sussex squadron. Gather close, pour yourself a steaming cup of tea, or if today's revelations stir your royal nerves as much as I suspect they will, perhaps reach for something stronger. Because what I bring to you today is not just a story of hypocrisy, not merely another tale of the ever-churning royal media machine. No, my friends. What we are diving into is a theatre of cruelty, a page torn straight from the tattered playbook of the British press, with Angela Levin, the so-called royal expert and self-declared biographer of Prince Harry, standing centre stage. Angela Levin, who has long fashioned herself as some authority on the Duke of Sussex, has taken it upon herself, once again, to wage war with her words. This time, however, she has crossed into territory so grotesque, so callous, that even seasoned observers of the monarchy's press wars might find themselves shocked. On the occasion of Harry's heartfelt tribute to his late grandfather, Prince Philip, on VJ Day, a solemn moment, a day of remembrance, of reflection, of honour, Angela Levin made the unthinkable leap. She posted a comment on X, formerly Twitter, declaring that Harry's lies broke his grandfather's heart and by implication caused his death. Let that sink in. She is attempting to draw a direct line between a nearly 100-year-old man's passing and the grandson who simply chose to honour his memory. Now, pause with me for a moment. Let us allow reason to breathe in this room. Prince Philip lived to be nearly 100 years old. He served his nation through war, through service, through decades of public life. His passing was the culmination of an extraordinary long life. Yet here comes Angela Levin, pointing a finger at Harry, attempting to weaponize grief, to turn mourning into ammunition. How twisted, how cruel, how inhumane must one be to twist the love between a grandson and his grandfather into a weapon of blame? But perhaps, squadron, we should not be surprised. This is Angela Levin's pattern, a woman who has made a career not of reporting facts but of spinning narratives. Narratives that conveniently paint Harry as the villain and Meghan Sussex as the usurper. A woman who has admitted publicly her own history of familial strife, that her own mother, in her words, called her disgusting, demeaning names. And yet, instead of breaking the cycle, instead of choosing compassion, Angela Levin has chosen to become the very embodiment of the cruelty she once endured. She flings those same kinds of words, not just at Harry, but at Meghan Sussex, at their children Archie and Lilibet, and even at Doria Ragland, Meghan Sussex's dignified and gracious mother. It is projection at its ugliest, hurt people hurting others, all while masquerading as authority. Let us interrogate her accusations. She says Harry's lies broke his grandfather's heart. But what lies, squadron? What deception has she conjured? Is it Harry's voice in Spare, his memoir, where he spoke of the cruelty he and Meghan Sussex endured? Is it Harry's truth when he revealed that certain figures in the palace briefed against him, against his wife, against their very love story? Lies, Levin, or truths too inconvenient for the British press to accept? For let us remember, the record of deceit does not belong to Harry. The record of falsehood, distortion, fabrication, that belongs to the press. The very same press that declared falsely that Netflix had cancelled Harry and Meghan Sussex's deal. The same press that crafted entire columns of critique about their Oprah interview before it had even aired. Imagine that, condemning words not yet spoken, damning testimony not yet revealed. If there are lies to count, squadron, then we must not look to Harry's lips, we must look to the ink-stained pages of the tabloids. And Harry himself, in his book, pointed toward this very woman, Angela Levin, when he recalled how someone falsely reported that he had left the United Kingdom without informing the late Queen. A grotesque distortion. Harry was adamant. He would never, ever leave without telling his grandmother, out of the deepest respect. That was his truth. And yet, Angela Levin and her ilk spread the opposite, and now she dares to accuse him of dishonesty, projection once again. Let us also not forget the true reason Harry left the UK. Those who claim to know him best, Levin among them, were shocked when he and Meghan Sussex made their decision. Why? Because they never listened. They never paid attention to the abuse hurled at Meghan Sussex, the constant dehumanization of her by the press, the racist undertones, the headlines crafted to break her spirit. They never considered that a husband and father would prioritize the safety of his wife and son. It was not betrayal, it was protection. It was love in its purest form. Yet Levin refuses to see it. And let us not forget the most damning part of all. Angela Levin's cruelty is not new. It is simply the latest echo of a much older tragedy. We cannot say the words press harassment without remembering Princess Diana, the beloved mother Harry lost. Diana was hunted by paparazzi, chased by flashing lights, cornered by the same insatiable hunger for scandal, and it killed her. That truth is undeniable. Yet here, decades later, the press has learned nothing. They hound her son. They hound his wife Meghan Sussex. They hound his children. And commentators like Angela Levin provide the cover, the justification, the twisted narrative that keeps the cycle spinning. What Levin has done with her accusation against Harry is not journalism. It's really not commentary. Honestly, it's not even criticism. It's cruelty dressed in the robes of expertise. It's the act of a woman desperate for relevance, clawing for attention by attaching herself to the name of the very man she once claimed to biograph. And let us be clear, Harry will not answer her. He will not engage with her. He has moved on, as he must. And that silence, his refusal to descend to her level, is what infuriates her most. She is shouting into a void, and the void echoes back nothing. But we, the Sussex Squadron, we see through it. We know that to honor one's grandfather is not a crime, not a lie, not a betrayal. It is an act of love. And Harry, despite all the noise, despite all the venom hurled his way, chose to honor Prince Philip. That alone speaks volumes. So let us conclude, Squadron, with this truth. Angela Levin's words will fade. Her accusations will scatter like dust in the wind. But Harry's love for his grandfather, his devotion to his family, and his unwavering commitment to protect Meghan Sussex, Archie and Lilibet, that will endure. That will outlast every headline, every smear, every cruel attempt to rewrite history. And perhaps that is what frightens the British media most. They cannot control the narrative anymore. They cannot silence Harry's voice. They cannot erase Meghan Sussex's presence. They cannot unwrite the truth of a family that has chosen love over institution, safety over tradition, truth over lies. So, my brilliant Sussex Squadron, let us leave Angela Levin to her bitterness. Let us leave the tabloids to their falsehoods. We know where the truth resides. It resides with Harry. It resides with Meghan Sussex. It resides with all those who choose compassion over cruelty. And when history is written, it will not remember Levin's poisonous tweets. It will remember a grandson who loved his grandfather, a son who honored his mother's memory by refusing to let the same machine destroy his wife and children. That, Squadron, is the legacy that truly matters. Until next time, raise your cups high. Stand proud, stand strong, stand united.